YouTube. It is a brand new kind of me. Today is October 13th, 2016. I am 10 days post-operation and of the gastric sleeve. And I have to tell you, today I feel great. I went for my post-op checkup yesterday with my surgeon. He checked out all the incisions, showed me which incision they actually took the stomach out of, and that actually is the only incision that still has a little bit of a tenderness to it, because it was the largest incision, and they had to put, I guess, a stitch inside so that everything seals up the way it's supposed to. So the surgeon, so I've lost 23 pounds, including my 10-day pre-op liquid diet, and I think I lost 14, according to the doctor's measurements, it was 14 pounds during the pre-op, and then in this first week home I lost another 9, I think was the calculations. Their scale's a little bit different than mine, but it's pretty close, within a pound or two. So 23 pounds total, which is awesome. I am feeling actually really good. I'm able to drive again now. My doctor gave me permission to drive yesterday when I saw him, and also told me that I can progress to the next stage in food, which is stage 3, pureed and soft foods. So I went shopping yesterday and loaded up with a ton of different things, just because I wanted to have a variety and wasn't sure what things were going to work and what weren't going to work. And I look at my fridge now, and I have way more food that I'm going to be able to eat, and I just hope that I don't that it doesn't go to waste. So I'm freezing a bunch of it, but live and learn. I gotta learn how to shop for a stomach that's a lot smaller than what I'm used to. I will learn. Other thing I'm learning is that wasting food is something that, growing up we were always told, taught not to do. And it was like, finish what's on your plate, only take where you're going to eat. And now I'm going to be wasting food. I can just see it. I'm trying to teach myself by using the smaller spoons and the smaller plates. But even so, I can see that there probably will be a little bit of waste until I get used to the size of the new stomach. The good news is I'm not having as much trouble swallowing, but my doctor did explain why I have that trouble sometimes, and what's it all about. He explained that right now, because my stomach is still healing, it's still very inflamed, and where the stomach meets your esophagus is still the same size it's always been, but now it's going into a very restricted opening of the stomach. So it's that transition from the esophagus into the stomach that causes that little bit of pain and like resistance that I was feeling. So that does get better every day. I've actually only felt it maybe once or twice today. And it was when I was eating a piece of string cheese, which I can eat now. But it was probably the most solid food I've had, since the operation. And I caught myself not chewing it well enough, and it's too late after you swallow it. So you just kind of have to wait for it to work its way past, and it's a little uncomfortable. Definitely not, not a huge pain that causes any real concern. It's just, when I didn't know what it was, I was more concerned. Now that I understand that it's, just the food passing from the esophagus into the stomach, and stomach still swollen, I completely understand that. So things are going really well. I, showered in regular clothes. The first 5 days though, I were really tough. They were really tough, and I know everyone's different, so I hope those of you watching that are going through this, or planning to go through this, have a better experience than I did. But it was the pressure of knowing that I needed to drink 64 ounces of water, and I needed to get 60 grams of protein in, and just not being able to do that without um, I wasn't able to do that at all. The first 5 days, I didn't meet that goal once. Um, Day one, if I drank 8 ounces of liquid, that was a lot. I got a lot of my liquids from sucking on crushed ice. And then finally, I think it was day 5 was when my dad suggested that we go and get some lemon ice, which is basically like the Luigi's Italian ice. It's kind of similar to that, but um, we have a place local here called Anderson's um, that makes a really good lemon ice. So um, even one of those, I think they got me a medium. It I had to eat it in multiple sittings, at least I think three sittings, and then I threw the rest out because it was just I was done with it. It doesn't refreeze well because it's a really soft consistency. Anyhow, when I was eating it, it went down very well, and I think that because it's cold, it really helped a lot with the swelling. And after that first day that I had the lemon ice, I immediately started feeling uh, way better. So day 6, I was able to get some more liquids in it, and gradually every day, I was able to increase my fluid intake to now where I'm doing really good. I can get about 2 of these in, which still isn't 64 ounces, but it's about 40 ounces is where I'm at right now, which is the lower end of where the doctor wants me to be, but it's what I'm able to fit in right now. Drinking is getting a lot easier. I've taking gulps now is not a big issue. I just have to remember. It's like almost like I can feel when everything hits my stomach. Before, I don't know if I ever really paid attention to that or could feel it. Um, but it's like it's not an instant in it takes time to travel down and reach your stomach. And so if I drink too much at a time, then I'm like feeling very full and very bloated um because it takes time to actually hit your stomach, and by the time it hits your stomach, I have too much in me. So what I'm learning is, even with drinking, I have to really take my time and let it hit my stomach so that I know how full I am, because you have a pretty long esophagus and you never really think about that, but I mean the fluid takes time to travel through your esophagus before it hits your stomach, and you just got to take your time. Let it flow through the esophagus and hit your stomach before you take more in. So that's my that's my advice for today. I did mention I was going to talk about the emotions of it, but truthfully, only thing I need to really say about that is it's just the pressure in the beginning. My family, who loves me very much and did not want to see me end up back in the hospital, tried really hard to get me to drink more fluids, and I know that they did it out of love, but they were constantly, come on, you have to drink, and I would just look at that water bottle and want to cry because it's like every time I took a sip, it hurt, um, and my stomach felt weird, and I wasn't. It was just new sensations and feelings that I just didn't know how to cope with yet, and so I had a lot of, oh my God, what did I do to myself? I can't believe I did this. This was the worst decision I've ever made. You're gonna feel those emotions probably at least the first 5 days. I guarantee that at least during your first week after surgery, you are going to say, why did I do this to myself? But I promise you it gets better. Like I said, I'm 10 days out today, and I feel great. I haven't, had any solid foods yet, like steaks and fresh fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. But where I'm at right now, I'm very comfortable. I feel good, and doctor said I can move to solid foods on Monday. So that's only a few days away. So every doctor has a different idea of the diet plan and the eating habits. So I mean, I definitely recommend that you follow the instructions of your surgeon. This is just my journey and what I'm going to, and I hope that the information I'm sharing is useful and helpful to to those either on the journey or that are considering the journey. And I will continue to post as I progress. My next update might not be for a while, just unless I have something new to share when I switch to solid foods. But I will make sure that I do update on a regular basis, especially to let you know how I'm doing with my weight loss. I appreciate all the comments that you are leaving below, and make sure that you subscribe to this channel so you can keep in touch. Well, I hope you all have a great day, and this is a brand new kind of me signing off for now. Bye bye.